do we have to sit here?
Come on, I thought it would be nice to come to the park before everyone comes over. Spend some time together, especially since I work so late. I never get to see you.
Uh-huh. Mom wanted us out of the house, huh?
You're growing up very quickly.
How long do we have to stay away?
As long as it takes. We used to do everything together for Hanukkah. It's a happy holiday.
I have to make sure we have enough colored candles for my menorah. We need red and white, and I want to use blue tomorrow. Oh, can we go back soon? Plus, I really want to help peel potatoes. I only got 3 scrapes last time. Dad, you keep looking at that statue. What is it?
That statue reminds me of the great Latke Showdown of 2009. That was when it ended in our family. Some might even call it the Great Latke Catastrophe.
What ended?
You don't want to know.
You're going to tell me anyway, aren't you?
Lucky I'm not too young, and that I'm not too old to remember.
It wasn't that long ago. Was I born yet?
Not quite. Mom was so pregnant with you that she had to stand a foot away from everything. Oh, why recount the worst Hanukkah night in our modern family when the Festival of Lights became a festival of darkness? It's really an adult story.
How about if you find a way to make that statue part of the story, I'll listen.
You're very shrewd,
I'll
but
even play dreidel with the little kids.
how can I pass that up? It began right here at our house on Ariel Street. It was going to be a typical Hanukkah until my brother.
Oh, Uncle Alan?
Just before they visited from Boston, we decided we should have a latke contest.
Ooh.
Now, you and I know that Mom has made carloads of latkes every year from the nursery school and all of your classes.
Ooh.
She's a pro, right? Mm-hmm. What we didn't know is that
Aunt Marcy?
Right, was taking classes at culinary school.
Like forks and knives?
That's cutlery. Culinary. Cooking. Meanwhile, we were using the menorah your big sister had made in Sunday school, so she was table scraping off all the melted wax.
She made a menorah too?
Just like you did. A block of wood.
And mosaic tiles and nuts and bolts?
Just the nuts.
That fit Hanukkah candles perfectly.
Another Hanukkah miracle.
A coincidence. That menorah is the best thing I ever made. The mosaic tiles are so pretty and they fit. And I didn't glue too much. I varnished the wood so it was nicer than just painted. And the silver nuts are all evenly placed. Oh, it's...
Okay, this was the last night of Hanukkah, so Sophie was busy picking out the candles, 8, 1 for each night, and the head candle.
The shamus. I put that one higher so I wouldn't burn myself. And at the end, and I put 3 nuts so it's higher. Can we go back now so I can...
Robert, Andy, and Allison were playing dreidel.
With pennies or chocolate?
Chocolate. Grandma came and was already asleep, and Mom had already made the sufganiyat.
Wait, what?
Like donut holes with jelly inside. You know the miracle of the oil.
Yeah.
After burning their enemy and winning back the Second Temple, they wanted to rededicate it. Sadly, there was only enough oil for one night, but it burned for 8 days.
For 8 nights.
And that's why we have fried food in oil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why don't we have them anymore? The donut holes?
Oh, because the heartburn lasts that long, too. That's the debacle of Hanukkah. So your mother offers Aunt Marcy all of our pans and bowls. But Aunt Marcy took out her own bowls, spatulas, her Cuisinart.
Yeah.
Your mother looks at her like a stranger, questions on her face. Your aunt takes out cheesecloth and a colander. Then came the ingredients. She takes out potatoes, leeks, scallions, dill, feta, cheese, salt, pepper. And then Aunt Marcy, who you know is not a large person, like Maleficent shrieks, "Where is my spinach?"
Whoa.
Don't worry, we Don't have to do the competition. There's enough latkes for everyone. That was your mother. I need my spinach, spits out Aunt Marcy. For potato pancakes? Asks Mom. Do you have any? Your mother walks slowly in a circle, her finger on her lips, thinking hard.
Ooh, that means she's gonna yell.
Nope.
Did Aunt Marcy
Mom
do
takes
that?
out a couple of pounds of russet potatoes, an onion, eggs, flour, kosher salt, pepper she just ground. I remember because I sneezed. And vegetable oil. This is for classic latkes. You're welcome to whatever you need. Classic latkes? I will make classical. Classical. What's the difference?
2 lettuce?
The difference, explodes your aunt, is that you always do the cooking. You're not the best at everything. I can host the holidays. I can entertain. I'm a great chef. Your aunt studies each ingredient. Alan! Your Uncle Alan, playing dreidel with the kids, jumps up and knocks over Robert, Andrew, Allison, and Sophie, and her best friend Momo.
Oh, the same Momo I know?
Yep. And then Alan shouts, "What?" Marcy shouts again, "Alan!" By now, Alan runs to the kitchen and he looks around the room, follows Marcy's stare to the ingredients. There's no spinach! And Alan, no fool, says, "You're right." He wrestles the potato peeler out of her hand as it had gotten awfully close to his face and promised her he would go get spinach. And he takes your cousin Andrew and goes.
Why didn't you go?
And leave Marcy alone with your mother? Aunt Marcy's eyes were already preheated, so she turned their fire on your mother, and your mother bit her lip and it came tumbling out. I use my mother's recipe. You always liked it. But Marcy said, have you tried popitas? Greek potato cakes? I also make an incredible latke with cilantro and jalapeno. Do you have cilantro and jalapeno? No, but it sounds interesting, your mother said. Curry, zucchini, and carrots? And your mother says, we're talking about latkes. I know there are Jews from all over the world, but our families are from Europe and Russia. We don't need nouveau cuisine. Nouveau? Ancient, traditional recipes. I have just finished a course at the Athena Culinary School. Athena, the Greek goddess, and learned to make authentic Greek potato cakes, a whole cornucopia of latkes. You could see the flame reflected in your mother's eyes. Alan came back with the spinach, and Aunt Marcy started to cook with a mission. Your mother silently helped. You could smell the brisket. I couldn't wait to dip the challah into the gravy, and there were roast carrots. We played more dreidel, sang more songs, and in a few minutes the latkes were done. We would eat soon. We gathered around the menorah in the kitchen and said the blessings and lit the candles. Then we all went into the dining room so the women could cool off for a moment. Suddenly, there was a pop, zing! Gunshots went off like the OK Corral. Your mother called 911, and your grandmother pushed her emergency alert because she thought she was having a heart attack. Alan and I ran into the kitchen using cookbooks as shields, only to see your sister's menorah shooting off tiles and nuts every which way. The candles themselves went flying. One hit the drapes, which caught on fire, which ignited the dried flowers on the windowsill and sparked the table's centerpiece. Alan and I threw soup bowls of water wherever was needed. A couple of candles fell into Aunt Marcy's latkes and they started to burn, so I threw water on them too.
Ew.
When the firemen came and hosed the kitchen, the lights shorted and we went into darkness. And that's when your mother yelled. After the commotion, we sat down in the living room with some flashlights. Unofficially, your mother won the latke showdown because hers were protected by the warm oven, which luckily saved the brisket too.
Is that why the family doesn't come for Hanukkah anymore?
They're busy with friends' parties. The miracle of Hanukkah is that our house didn't burn down. That and Uncle Alan only was in the hospital overnight after he slipped on the kitchen floor. That and the fire department said Aunt Marcy's latkes should have only burned for a few minutes, but they burned all night.
You're making that part up. Right?
Maybe.
So did you have sour cream or applesauce with the latkes?
That is a showdown we have been avoiding.
It was a good story. But you forgot the statue. Can I go back now? I want to pick out the candles.
Justin, this is my way of telling you, beautiful as it is, we will not be using the menorah you made. Ever.
Because the heat made the other one explode. Ugh. Okay.
You're not upset? Justin, what's the name on that statue?
Miracle! What a coincidence!
No, it's a miracle. It means it's time to go home now.
Hooray!